Hey everyone, this is part of our continuing series on why aren't you successful? Today we're going to deal with two areas that many people are challenged with in regards to becoming successful. And we're talking about fear and doubt. I call them the twins. Because usually where you tend to be fearful about a situation, doubt also tends to creep in. Now, I remember many years ago at a seminar, someone said that fear is nothing more than false evidence appearing real. And that actually rings true. But sometimes fear is not the fact of just the evidence or lack thereof, but fear also comes through years of conditioning and programming. We spoke before about limiting beliefs and where limiting beliefs may emanate from. Many cases, for many of you, your limiting beliefs may have started in your childhood based on the things that your parents have said about you. If you did not grow up in an environment where you were reinforced positively, emotionally, and stimulated mentally, if you grew up in an environment where you may have been verbally or emotionally abused, or in some cases just neglected, and those things tend to stay within our psyche for years. And many of our relationships, many of the things that we're involved in, are indirectly influenced by how we were treated as children into our young adulthood, and even in some cases, even as adults. If you were told that you would never amount to anything, if you were told that money is bad, that money is evil, that rich people only become rich because they take advantage of others and their wealth is ill-gotten, then that creates a foundation wherein that you will have an aversion on a subconscious level to obtaining wealth, to be financially secured, to have enough money just to make ends meet. Now, on a conscious level, you may want these things. But again, the underlying program that has been fed to you nullifies what you want on a subconscious level. So, you may develop fear habits. And some of these habits may eventually turn into self-sabotage because of the very fear that you have in relationship to obtaining the things that you desire. For example, again, if you grew up in a household where money was an issue and Either it was a situation of lack, or a parent was very controlling of the resources of the house, the financial resources of the house, dismissive to another parent. If there was conflict in the relationship, maybe you grew up in a single household, single parent household, where there was conflict with another parent in relationship to money, there are a lot of issues that will kind of foment and circulate around the issues of money. And again, that will bring you to a level of fear in relationship to its management, to its attainment, and even to its overall uses in relationship to your growth and development. So fear, false evidence appearing real, well, sometimes the evidence is actually real, and it may not be false, but it's enough to either sabotage you and or it's enough to keep you in a state of limit, of lack. And this relates to other areas of your life. It could also reflect in the form of interpersonal relationships. How many of you find it difficult to find a significant other? Someone that you feel that you can love, but also that wants to love you. Maybe there's a fear due to the experiences you had as a younger person in observing how the adults in your life dealt with their relationships, that now you have taken on in relationship to how you deal with your relationships. Remember, children learn not from what you say, but they learn from what you do. The observation is more important than the telling. That's a lesson I've learned myself in relationship to rearing my children. Children will observe and mimic and easily dismiss the things that you say in relationship to what they should not do. So it's important that you understand that not only as it relates to your own past, but also if you have children in your life. But relationships, those interpersonal relationships, that baggage that you have carrying over the years can be the very reason why you're having challenges. The fear that you may go through the same things that that adult in your life experienced may be enough to stop you from enjoying a meaning, loving, and productive relationship. So it's very important that you, again, look within yourself and try to remember what happened in your past that may be imprinting now to create your present situation and so forth. It could also be reflecting how you achieve in relationship to jobs. If you have a parent that, again, that may not have strived for success in relationship to their jobs, maybe that they always operated at a survival level, then that may reflect in how you approach employment. Some outliers, again, you may see success in some individuals. Regardless of their circumstances, they will succeed anyway. They're outliers. Doesn't matter. They're motivated. Their personalities, in many cases, are type A, and they're going to succeed regardless of what happened in their childhood. But most of you are not type A's. And the burdens of the past will always weigh on you unconsciously. Now, is it impossible to remove yourself from those issues? Absolutely not. But it requires coming to an awareness of these issues. Many of you have probably even blotted it out of your minds. You try to go back into what happened in relationship to your childhood and your teenage years, and because of the negative connotations of these things, you blot it out of your minds. But even though you blot it out of your conscious thought, on an unconscious level, these things are still there. These programs are still running. So we must address these issues, confront them, and release them. How do you deal with the fear? Fear must be confronted. If you do not confront the fear, it will always take over. There's a scripture wherein that, I think it was Job that said, the very thing that I fear have come over me. You see, the things that you tend to fear the most become paramount in your mind. And the things that you focus on mentally are the things that you eventually manifest. So whatever you fear in your life becomes part of your reality. And saying, I don't want, is not enough. Because the way the universe works, the more you say you don't want, the more it will give. So it's not about saying what you don't want. It's about saying what you want in your life. So the things that you want must substitute the things that you don't want. And that becomes part of the process of rehabilitation and recovery and eliminating the fear. 1, reprogramming and conditioning yourself. After you've accepted the issues that may be bringing you to the fear, you've got to start reprogramming yourselves. You can do that through positive affirmation. You can do that through reading, learning about processes that can be modeled and mirrored by you in order to overcome the fear. You see, once you become familiar with a thing and it's comfortable, then there is no longer a need to be fearful of that thing. Fear comes through unknown. If you don't know, then there's a level of discomfort. But once you become familiar with a thing, then you're less likely to be fearful of that thing. So it's important that you understand, to eliminate the fear, you must start the process of conditioning yourself and reprogramming yourself with new information that allows you to eliminate the information that has caused fear. Step 2, one of the things that you learn when you are fearful about a particular, let's say you're afraid of snakes or spiders or what have you. As part of that confrontation, you put yourself in an environment where the thing that has made you fearful, you're confronted with. And through a process of desensitization, you'll find that the fear eventually dissipates. So you must desensitize yourself to the fear. It's one of those words I get tongue-tied on. So, and over time, that fear is eliminated. You also, as number 3, become bold. See, people who have fear or fearful tend to be extremely cautious. They also tend to procrastinate. If you are suffering from some level of fear, become bold in your fear. And you find that the process of being bold eliminates the fear. If you want a particular relationship, you have to be willing to be bold, to go out there, create the reality that you want, and meet that person. But you have to be bold. Sitting in your house, sitting in your apartment, it's not going to do it for you. You've got to get out there and embrace life. Be bold. Through that process of being bold, you'll find that as you become bold in one area, it's easier to be bold in other areas. So if you are looking for a raise or to quote unquote climb up the proverbial corporate ladder, if you're bold about it and you have supportive information in relationship to your value to the business or company department that you are working for, then be bold. Approach your manager or supervisor and plead your case. But only do it if you've got evidence to back it up. If you don't have any evidence to support it, we'll work on the evidence. Show them your value and be bold in the process. Don't be fearful. See, life is rewarded to the bold. Prosperity and success is rewarded to the bold. Is that saying that you will not make a mistake? Is that saying that you will not walk into a barrier or have to overcome obstacles? No. All those things are a part of life regardless. But at the end of the day, being bold will enable you to go out there and win. As you deal with the fear, the fear over time will dissipate. Educate yourself. Become familiar with the things that are necessary to deal with the fear. If it's about money, take classes on managing money. Take classes or attend seminars or read books on acquiring more money. But whatever the fear is, accept it, move forward in your success. Now, wherever there's fear, there's also doubt. See, fear starts to get you to question which direction you're going in. It gets you to question your plan, if you have a plan. And doubt starts to creep into the things that you're doing. There's a concept of double-mindedness, meaning that you need to make a decision, but you're wavering from one side to the next side, never actually making a decision. See, the universe likes a definitive decision. You've got to be definite about your decision making. When you read about successful people, you find that most successful people tend to make a decision quickly and they stick by it. Now, if there's eventual evidence to say that the decision was the incorrect one, then there's opportunity to change. But you make the decision. You cannot be double-minded. You cannot be wavering. So, doubt creates a problem for individuals when they're looking to obtain some level of success. Doubt also comes through, again, from programming. You doubt yourself. You doubt your capabilities. You doubt your skills. You doubt your education. See, as these things start to weigh on you, it becomes difficult for you to make the level of decisions that will get you to where you need to go. So, by eliminating doubt, it will help you to come to decisions faster. How do you eliminate doubt? One, you access the evidence that you need in order to make a sound decision. Two, you seek counsel in whatever area or direction that you're looking to achieve. Internally, one of the first sources you should seek counsel is in that higher self, that higher you. As an example, I was reading a book by W. Clement Stone, and he indicated during the first thing he does during the day, as part of his ritual, was to ask the Creator for guidance in all the decisions that he makes. Why did I bring that up? Because it was something that I've done over the years. And to see someone who was considered one of the wealthiest men in this country do the same thing, it was inspiring to me. Ask for guidance. I have an affirmation that says, I ask the Creator to help me and guide me to make the right decisions to get the best outcome. Ask the Creator for guidance to help me make the right decisions to get the best outcome. That's just a simple question that you can ask. I also read I listened to an audiobook that was about how Goldman Sachs as a company grew into what it eventually became. And one of the techniques that the management learned is when confronted by a challenge or a problem, ask, what is the solution? And open yourself to the answers. What is the solution? So, as you are laying the foundation by observing the evidence, asking wise counsel, asking for a higher consciousness to help you in relationship to your decision making, what that will enable you to do is eliminate the doubt and reduce the fear. If you just stew in your own beliefs without obtaining good information and asking wise counsel, and wise counsel meaning individuals who have gone through the same experience that you're going through. If you're stewing in your own beliefs, you'll find yourself experiencing the fear and the doubt. And at points you'll become paralyzed in your decision-making process, which in turn reduce the opportunities for you to become successful in the things that you are endeavoring in. So, utilize the strategies I've given you. Eliminate the fear and the doubt. And there's nothing wrong with a good, healthy dose of fear, because it's part of our primal brain, that fight or flight. Fear allows you to also understand that, hey, there's points in wherein that I've got to get out of Dodge in order to save myself. But if you're not threatened bodily, and it's a fear in relationship to achieving something that will bring you to where you want to be, some state of success, then work with the strategies I've given you, and you'll find that over time, eliminating the fear and reducing the doubt will help you to make the best decisions and will help you make the best decisions that will get you to where you want to get to. Thank you, and look forward to the next session. Have a good day.